Hey everybody, this is Dave Walsh, host of Card Talk, and I am starting a playthrough of the new Dream Chaser campaign. It seems like everybody seemed to love the Angmar Awaken campaign. I was able to do it live. I have a great setup. You can see some of the stuff that I have going on here. So this is my play area, and we're going to do the first scenario this time, and I am going to bring my Sylvans through this. Here's the thing. There's two options that I can do. I can either play with a deck that I'm familiar with and see how that fares against a scenario, or I can build a new deck every time. So I'm going to play through these campaigns, these two campaigns, and then I'm going to go back and play through them trying to build for each scenario, I think. So I was going to do Angmar a second time, kind of building for each scenario because I have some ideas. But I think the better thing is to play the scenarios, see how they go, see what happens, and then we can see how the campaign works out, and then we can play the campaign and have fun going back and building decks to attack it. So let me draw my opening hand and see what we get. Okay, I'm going to keep the opening hand, and let's see what cards I get, and we'll go from there. So I did make some swap outs. I did not play the exact same deck that I did in my Angmar Awakens campaign. And one of the things that I wanted to add was a Woodland Courier so that I can add just a little bit of location control. Especially in this first quest, there's some pretty nasty travel effects. So I think I am going to like having a Woodland Courier in there. So I ended up taking out the Glathram Weaver. So hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. And so you can see the Woodland Courier on the left there. It says after Woodland Couriers enter play, place 1 to progress on a location, 2 if it has a forest trait. I don't think that there's any scenarios that have forest traits here. I don't think it would be weird if they did, and it's not common through the Dream Chaser cycle. And then the Henemarth is great to exhaust after committing to a sailing quest. So you do all your sailing quest stuff, you discard the cards, and then you can use Henemarth to see what the top card of the deck is. So I like those two cards. Okay, and I did get 2 Greenwood Archers. The Greenwood Archers ready a hero when they come into play, which is convenient and nice, especially with Galadriel. You can draw a card, lower your threat, and then you can also then use her to use her Nenya's action to commit her to the quest. Not really commit her to the quest, but most people know what I'm talking about when I say that. It's also good to bring in using Thranduil's ability. Thranduil's ability you can use during combat, so you can defend with Thranduil, and then you can bring in a Greenwood Archer, and you can ready Thranduil, and then you can do stuff with him a second time. The Sylvan Tracker, very good healing. It's the only healing I have in this deck, so when the Sylvan readies, you get to heal a damage from that character. So, and I ended up taking out Elf Friend and replacing it with something else. So we'll see what that is when it comes up, or if it comes up. Okay, so I have Nenya there, and then I have Hero Galadriel on the right, and if you say it says Galadriel gets a lore resource icon, which is great, and then once you exhaust Nenya and Galadriel, you add her willpower to another character's willpower until the end of the quest. So that just means you have to make sure that you quest with at least one other character. You can't just send Galadriel with 4. You have to commit somebody else, which isn't a problem in this. But Galadriel's ability, this is my special Galadriel. If you're just catching the beginning of this, I'll go through some of the neat and special things that I have that I've accrued over the years, as part of the Lord of the Rings community. But this is an official alt art that's signed by the designer of the game, Caleb Grace, and Galadriel gets to have, she can't quest, attack, or defend, but when allies enter play, they don't exhaust a quest the first round that they come into play. Now, that's also true during the setup. If you have an ally that comes into play during setup, like an objective ally, they don't exhaust a quest the first round they come into play. And then Celeborn on the left there is a Sylvan Noble. As soon as a Sylvan ally comes into play, they get +1/+1/+1. That's willpower, attack, defense for that first round. This is also an official alt art that I got. Thank you, Dennis Beard out there. Could be Beard or Baird, depending on how you pronounce it. But thank you so much. I was able to get that alt art Celeborn. I've been looking for this forever. And it makes a great pair with the alt art Galadriel on the board. And they're married, so it's good. And then Thranduil has a combat action. He's Sylvan and Noble, and the combat action allows me to play one Sylvan from my hand during combat, obviously, because it's a combat action, and you don't need a resource match. So I can play Sylvans from any sphere using Thranduil, so that's good. Okay, so the One Ring on the left there, this is a card that has, especially for the veterans, has really, I don't want to say polarized the community. It's such a friendly community. It's hard to say that it's controversial, but it's as controversial as it gets. Some people believe that you shouldn't play the One Ring because it changes the lore of the game. Of the books. It doesn't follow along with what's going on. But it was a card in the game. And in the last cycle, the Vengeance of Mordor cycle, it came out along with the Master cards. You can see Inner Strength there on the right. So, I don't know. I like it because it's a cost benefit. It messes with your threat. It messes with your threat elimination level, and it gives you access to a whole group of cards that you wouldn't normally have access to. And I always like to get the defendy one out because it gets rid of shadow effects, and then I don't have to worry about shadow cancellation. And I'm probably doing this a little bit out of order. I should pull the One Ring out after I set the quest deck and do that. That's when game setup happens. But we're going over player cards, so I thought I'd go over this now. So if you look, Inner Strength was the one that I pulled out of my player deck. It says attached hero gets +1 defense, and it says exhaust the One Ring and raise your threat by 1 to cancel a shadow effect that was just triggered. So this is the first quest card of the Dream Chaser cycle, Departure from the Havens. And this is many people's favorite cycle in the whole game. So many people love the Dream Chaser cycle. I've played all the scenarios, but I haven't really played them deeply. Like I played them when they were first released, and like I never really came back to revisit it. Some of these require like a bunch of setup, and then there's a Corsair deck, and then there's a compass, on that, I always thought it was a little too fiddly. As I talked to the other guys on the podcast, it's funny that some of them also don't love the mechanics there. So I would say that many people really love the Dream Chaser cycle, but there's a couple of people who think it's fine, but it's not, it's just another cycle in the game. It's very thematic. It's very well put together. It's very well designed. MJ did a great job when she did all this stuff. You can see, how in tune she was when she made this. It's phenomenal. That said, it's just never one of my go-to cycles that I play a ton of. But that's about to change. We're going to get deep into this right now. So anyway, so we're going to depart from the Havens, and it says here, set up, prepare the Corsair deck. So the Corsair deck, just so you know, is a separate deck, completely different from the encounter deck. It has its own discard pile. When it runs out, it doesn't have to be during the quest phase. When it runs out, you reshuffle it. So there's all sorts of Corsairs. There ends up being 10 Corsairs in it for this scenario. Okay, so that's set up, and it says shuffle each stage 2 card of the quest deck so that their order is random. I did that, leaving stage 3 on the bottom. Search the encounter deck for 1 copy of Rolling Seas, 1 copy of Scouting Ship, and add them to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, so this is our first encounter with a ship. You can see on the left there the scouting ship. It's got boarding 1. This is how Corsairs are going to engage me. This is how the enemies are going to come. So there's rules about how we take down ships. Ships can only attack other ships, and ships can only defend other ships. So we'll keep that in mind. And then it says while we are off course, the ship gets minus 15 engagement cost. So that's pretty crazy. 35 engagement cost is not bad, though. And then it's the 4th threat, location Rolling Seas. It says travel, shift your heading off course to travel here. So that's the the double-edged sword, right? And so you travel to the Rolling Seas, shifts you off course, and then you have to practically engage the scouting ship. Okay, and then it says, while you are on course, each ship objective gets +2 willpower. And it says, when the stage is defeated and you are on course, look at the top 2 stages of the quest deck and advance to one of your choice, placing the other on the bottom of the quest deck. So you'll see how this is all going to work out. In this scenario and all through the campaign, certain scenarios will ask you to set up the Dream Chaser and have its fleet. So, and I'm playing solo, so that means I get to keep control of 2 ships. It's one of those things that a lot of people didn't realize until well after the Dream Chaser cycle was released, is that many people just gave themselves the Dream Chaser and didn't get a second ship, but you are playing solo, so you get 2 ships, and it's. I looked at all the ships just so you know. For veteran players, there's 2 new ships: the Glorianeth and the Duskbringer. And I looked at all the ships, and I'm like, I don't want to do the standard thing, but this is the first time I'm playing through the campaign, and it's been a long time since I've played these scenarios. Again, they're not my go-to scenarios, so I think I'm just going to pick the Naralenia, just because it's so good, especially with Sylvans. So if you look, the Dream Chaser here on the left, it says immune to player card effects, Sentinels. So it can't be healed. The only way it can be healed is through quest or card effects or through encounter card effects, and trust me, it's not going to happen too often. But I can commit the Dream Chaser to sailing tests. So this is for multiplayer. The Dream Chaser can be committed to sailing tests because when you're playing multiplayer, the first player is the one that has to do the sailing tests, but I'm the only player, so that doesn't apply to me. But it counts as 2. When you're committed to the sailing test. So, and it's got 5 willpower. So the choice of sending this to the quest for 5 or making it a sailing test, it's just pretty crazy. It's a tough decision, and that's one of the things that I love about this game. Tough decisions. And then the Naralenia here, it says immune to player card effects, Sentinel, not going to impact me too much, but it says reduce the cost of the first ally you play each round by 1. So look at that. Each ally by 1. So if I have 1 cost Sylvans, guess what? They're now 0 cost, which is phenomenal, especially as the Sylvans come in and out of play. I know that there's some scenarios in here that Sylvans aren't the best to play with, but you know what? I'm doing it. Okay, so I think that sets up everything that we have. I am going to show you one other thing that you need for this scenario that you were given, and then we'll start with the campaign setup. Okay, so this is the course heading, and you can see that there's 4 different symbols. Okay, so it's the one that's pointing up is the course that you're on. The sunny weather means you are on course. And then when this one is up, you are slightly off course, and then you have rainy weather and then stormy weather. Okay, I'm sure they have more specific names than that. But for now, we're going to stay on course. And here's a neat thing that I was given. At Con of the Rings, they gave away these poker chips. Great job, guys, at Con of the Rings a couple years ago. And the poker chips have the symbols on it. So I'm going to keep the card, but I'm going to use the poker chip on top of the card just to make sure that everybody can kind of see the card and what's going on there. Okay, so you know, we're going to have to do this often. You get penalties all the time when you're off course. Okay, you can see by the scouting ship that we went through. Here is the setup for the campaign, and it says each player chooses a modification boon for each of the ship objectives and attaches it to the ship objective. Okay, so I'm going to pick the extra sails, and I'm going to put that on the Dream Chaser because the Dream Chaser already has 5 willpower, and so adding an extra willpower to it, that's the one that I'm going to probably want to commit to the quest when I do that, so I might as well boost its questing, its willpower when I can. And then armor plating, it says attached ship gets +1 defense, so the Narlenia has 5 defense, and so that's going to be my defensive ship for the most part. And so so I might as well put the defense bonus on it there. And again, there I looked at the other boons, and I think that these are the best for this scenario. Okay, I can show you the other 2 here. Okay, the other 2 modifications that I didn't pick were the one that that added 3 hit points. I played this a little bit, and I played the enlarged quarters, but the committed to any sailing test didn't really help me, and the 3 hit points weren't, at least in this scenario, weren't that important. And then the only other stat that is out there is attack. So the ballista does some attacky things, so it adds attack, but I don't think I needed attack for this scenario. So maybe I'm making a bad decision by not picking the ballista, but who knows. It says for each ship objective, its controller may deal 2 damage to add 1 resource to a hero's pool. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 2 damage to each of my ships, and I'm going to put resources onto Galadriel, looking at what my hand has and stuff like this. And then it says shuffle Ominous Fate and Thunderstruck into the encounter deck. I will do that. And then shuffle Crowley into the Corsair deck. So we're adding burdens into those 2 decks. Now, I'm going to show you something interesting, because on the back, it's almost like a checklist of things that we want to do, and I'm actually going to do that for this. Normally I wouldn't do this. I like to be surprised, but for this scenario, I just want to do, it's like unlock it. So when you do the resolution, you get these XP, right? So you get XP for surviving players for each. If all 4 stage 2B cards are in the victory display on down the list, and so then you can use XP to upgrade some of your campaign boons and I think even the burdens. I'm not sure. I didn't look through all the boons and burdens, but I looked through them. And I've also listened to enough Cardboard of the Rings and other Vision of the Palantir stuff to know that you want the XP. So I'm actually going to go through, and I'm going to try to get all of this done. And this is the scenario to do it, because this scenario is only modestly difficult. So just a very quick tour around my play space. You can see I have this large mat that I got from Cardboard of the Rings. thank you so much, patron. I got this, and part of this going to Con of the Rings this year, they gave away these little buttons that follow. So I like this button for my threat. And here's my encounter deck, Corsair deck, the staging area with the scouting ship and the rolling seas. Here's my compass. Quest card. Look at this quest card stand. It's new. It's the one that I actually gave out to my patrons a while ago. It has the Eye of Sauron looking out over the quest cards, so it's good. I have a miniatures of Radagast and Gandalf guiding me here, and then my threat dial. This is a special threat dial from the 2020 Fellowship kit. It's got the Balrog on it. Here's my deck. Here's my checklist of things to do. Here's some special tokens that I got. Here's my ships. They're damaged. Here's the 2 resources that I got. So I think I am ready to go. And I'm going to draw. And I get a tree people, which is good to see here at the beginning. So I'm going to exhaust Galadriel, lower my threat by 1, and draw. And I get an island amid perils. Okay, good. When I use these cards, I'll put them on the isolated camera so that you can see. Okay, I'm gonna put Nenya onto Galadriel. I'm gonna put Henemarth into play. I'm going to put the Woodland Courier into play. And because the Woodland Courier's in play, I put 1 progress on a location. This isn't immune, so I'm hoping to maybe do some things there. It's not a forest, so okay. So that's 2 here. Okay, I didn't have to pay for Henemarth because of the Narlenya. And then I will also put the Greenwood Archer into play. And that's going to be 2 here. Okay, good. So now, sailing test. I'll remind everybody what a sailing test is. So it's there's a lot of scenarios that have tests in them of some sort, whether it's a hide test, what's the one in the with Gollum? I don't know, where he bites you. But there's all sorts of tests and things that happen. But this is, I think, the best version of tests that I've had. And so what you do is you just exhaust any number of characters, and then you look at however many characters you exhaust, and that will change your heading here on the compass. Okay, so here's the steps. You shift off course. Okay, and then you figure out who you want to commit to the sailing test. So I'm going to commit the dream. I'm going to commit the Dream Chaser. And I'm going to commit the Greenwood Archer. So that's 3 characters committed to the quest. And then I can I can look at 3 cards here. And that's going to, oh, look, I get to ready Galadriel because of the Greenwood Archer. I forgot about that. And then I'm just looking for a passing sailing test. I just need to get 1 to get back on course. For every 1 you get to rotate this back 90 degrees, but I'm only off course by 1. But I know this is going to sound weird, but I think I'm going to, well, maybe not. I think I'm going to do 3 and then hope that I don't have to engage this ship. 1, 2, 3. And so here, what I'll do is we'll go to the camera and I'll show you how this works. So I have this kind of cut off a little bit on the top on purpose. So what I do is when I'm just flipping these over and I'm just looking at the corner down here. 1, this corner. And so I got 1 sailing test passed, which matched how much I need to get off course. For every 1 of these you get to rotate your heading back 90 degrees. And these cards get discarded. You don't see them again. You get to go through this encounter deck like 6, 7 times. Like, you're flying through this encounter deck So I sailed successfully. Okay, so this goes back on heading. Okay, and now I have to commit to the quest, which is interesting to do. Okay, so look, I'm going to use Henemarth here, I think, to look at this card. Okay, and this card is Rough Waters. So it's a 2-threat, 3 quest point location, and it says while Rough Waters is in the staging area, cancel the first sailing success symbol found during each sailing test. I have Rough Waters up here, so that's going to give me 8 in the staging area. So I need to figure out how to get 8 here. I think I can do 2. And then it doesn't matter if I commit her now. So 2, 6. I'm actually going to commit the Narlenia. Okay. So that's 11. Oh, wait. It's 9. That's 9. Okay. So I'll keep track of my willpower here on this number line here. Okay, so this will get revealed. So that's going to be 8 versus 9. I make 1 progress on the quest. And so I'll move Radagast here. Radagast will keep watch on my questing progress here. I'm going to play Tree People. Okay, so the Tree People says return a Sylvan ally you control to your hand, and then search the top 5 for the top 5 of your deck for another Sylvan ally and put that into play. I'm going to choose to return the Woodland Courier to my hand because I want that extra bonus there. And without a doubt, I'm going to pick Legolas here to come up into and take the place of the Woodland Courier. Okay, so Legolas is out into play. So I'm going to travel to the Rough Waters because I don't want to have anything cancel my my sailing progress. Helps if I discard. Okay, so we're going to ready everybody and we're going to go. So I get quicker than sight, which allows me to cancel a shadow effect. Okay, I will give myself resources. So I got these resources. So I promised a person that I would do a live playthrough with them because they're so beautiful. So that's been a while, so I apologize. But here it is, finally doing it. And that's why you can see these really crisp and clear, and it's actually this too. They're very, very good resources. I'm going to play the Woodland Courier, and that's goes here. So that's 1. I should have done this a different order, but whatever. So I get a Nath Guide. Okay, that's great. Okay, and then I didn't raise my threat, so I'm not going to lower my threat. I would raise it and lower it. It's back still at 28, so that's good. Actually, on the last playthrough, I actually realized that people can see that number, so that's pretty good. If it was just a little bit better, it'd be nicer. And then I'm going to spend 2 to bring out this Greenwood Archer, and that readies Galadriel. Okay, so this is... We're almost through that. Sailing test. So these 2 things just came out into play. So here, let's commit some things to the sailing test. So I guess I'm going to commit this, and then the Greenwood Archer that didn't come out into play this time. So that's 3 that I'm committing to the sailing test. I think that that's the best way to do it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm looking. Oh, look, I forgot to shift this off. So this off, but I got 3 little spots down here. 4 actually. Okay, and I got this Boon Ominous Fate out of there. So okay, so this goes back. So I sail successfully, and now I'm going to look at the top card of the encounter deck. Oh boy! First of all, look at the art on this card. That is phenomenal. The depth, it just goes way up. It's super cool. But this is a treachery. It's a boarding party, and I don't have any ways to cancel treacheries. But it says each player reveals the top card of the Corsair deck and puts it into play engagement. So it's not going to increase the amount of threat that I have in the staging area. So I only have 6, plus I want to make 3 progress on the quest. So I think we're going to be doing all right. I need to do 9. So look, here's 3. I don't think I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use the worship here. 3, 6, right? 1, 3, 6, and then again, I've already used Galadriel, so I can't. So that's 10. So okay, so this comes out. So now I have to reveal this and put it in play engage with me. And it's Crowley. Okay, let's take a look at Crowley. He's a Corsair Raider. And Crowley is one of the people who I want to get up into the victory display. And when I first played this, I played this one other time just to see what it was like, get my feet wet to see if I really wanted to play this scenario. I was like, how's this going to go in the victory display? But it says if Crowley has 3 or more resources on him, he gains victory 3. So you kind of want to keep putting him back and forth and putting him in this staging area and getting him back and stuff like that. So it says when Crowley engages you, place 1 resource on him. At the end of combat phase, return him to the staging area. So he's going to bounce back and forth. And now's the time to actually get him, because I don't have any ships in the staging area, and I can pretty much accommodate this guy coming back and forth. Now, if I end up getting a whole bunch of ships in the staging area, then I have to change my plan. So there's Crowley engaged with me, and he gets a resource immediately, because that's how that works. Okay, so now I made 4 progress, so I get to put 3 here. So this gets discarded, and then 1 on the there. Okay. Oh, that's crazy. I forgot that my ship objective gets +2, so I should actually have more on here. I should actually have 4 more on here. So there's a 5. So I have 6. Okay, I guess we're not going to travel here. I think I'm going to try to get rid of that at some point soon. So I'm going to deal this as shadow card, and I will defend with Thranduil. Thranduil's defending for 3. This guy is attacking for 3. And it says either add Thunderstruck to the staging area or do 2 damage to the defending character. So I'm going to play Quicker Than Sight. And that card allows me to return a Sylvan ally I control to cancel a shadow effect. Okay, and there's nothing that says that I can't cancel that as a shadow effect. So this guy comes back, and that's going to allow me to clear the rolling sea next turn. Okay, so attack for 3, defend for 3, and that's it. I'm not even going to... you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 5 damage. And so, not 5 damage, but I'm going to attack for 5. And now, that's going to do 2. That's going to do 2 damage to him. And that's going to help me in the future to be able to kill him. So, okay. So, end of round. We'll ready. This guy, end of combat. This guy goes back up here. And so I do get a Marksman of Lorien. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put this into play for 1. And so because that comes into play for 1, that clears this location. And now I only have 5 in the staging area. Okay, my hope is to kind of take this guy back and forth and kind of just continually beat him up a little bit. The Nath Guide here. And the Nath Guide is going to target Celeborn. Okay, so 2, 4, 7. I need to commit to the sailing test. So I'm still I think I'm gonna commit this guy. And then, let's see, that's gonna be 4. So I'll commit. So that's 3 to the sailing test. Let's move this off course here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And I was able to get little spot down there. You can see it. Okay. So this goes back on course. It's the world's shortest off course. So now I'm going to use Henemarth to see what's coming up. And it's Calm Waters. Okay, I love Calm Waters. Not only is it 2 successes on the sailing test, but, and I'll show you what it is. It says, while Calm Waters is the active location, look at 2 additional cards from the top of the encounter deck. So at some point, you don't even really have to commit players to the sailing test. And that's a great card to see, especially with Crowley in the staging area, because that's 2 more rounds of Crowley that I'm going to have to deal with. This is a great time to just say, I love how thematic these scenarios are. I know that I said that I don't go to these scenarios often, but it's just so thematic. And the art on them is amazing. I love seeing the art, the location, the ocean art. In the staging area, there'll be 6. And I'm already, let's see, I'm already committing 7. So I think that that's perfect. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to bring out Calm Waters, and I'm going to do 1 progress on the quest here and stopping. Oh wait, right. I didn't use a ship. Okay, I didn't use Galadriel, and that's on purpose. So now at the end of this phase, I'm going to exhaust Galadriel, lower my threat, and I get Feigned Voices. It's a great time to see Feigned Voices. Now it's travel phase, so I will travel to Calm Waters. This is a great location to kind of turtle on. This may be the time to engage this scouting ship, because I have a defender, it's boarding 1, and Crowley. So I have a lot of people, and I have a Feigned Voices kind of ready to go. And I don't think I can attack that scouting ship, but, well, we'll see what happens next time around. I'm okay with the scouting ship in there for right now. So this, and when he engages me, I get to put a resource on him. Okay, so now he's attacking for 4. So Shadow card. I really need to get Inner Strength out this round, which I will, but that's got to be a priority. So I'm going to defend with Thranduil. Thranduil's defending for 3, he's attacking for 4. And so it's a scouting ship, no shadow effect. So he takes the damage. He has 4 defense, so I'm going to do 3, 5, and that does 1 more damage here for Crowley. And now he goes back into the staging area, and he has 4 threat, and it's perfect. This is setting up pretty well. I probably should have done some of that. I get Lorien. And so this is the reason why I was going to not pick Narlenia. So let's take a look at Lorien. So Lorien gets attached to a hero, and it says exhaust it to lower the Sylvan ally by 1, and then it says to a minimum of 1. I don't think I can use Olorian in conjunction with Narlenia to have 0 cost, but I can definitely use it on 2 different allies to lower the cost of 2 different allies. The point is Narlenia lowers the cost of the first ally you play, and this also reduces the cost of the ally, so it's a double effect. And I was like, well, Olorian does what Narlenia does, but I just think it's too good to pass up. So I have to raise my threat too, because I'm not using Galadriel every round to do stuff. Okay, so here's what we got. We're going to spend 1, first things first, and I'm going to bring out Inner Strength and put that onto Thranduil. Inner Strength gives him an extra defense, and I'm going to need that. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring out Olorian and put it on Celeborn. It can go on anybody. I picked Celeborn kind of just thematically, I guess, because why not? Quests, sailing test. So we gotta go off course. I get 2 extra because of this, okay? And then I'm gonna try to kill Crowley. I don't know. I have to. So look, easy. Okay, so I'm just going to commit the Dream Chaser to the quest. And so that's 4. I get to pick up 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh my gosh, look. I stayed. I'm off course. I don't have a single success symbol. Okay. Well, when things are off course, that is what it is. But this guy's going to come down and attack me. But I'm going to exhaust Henamarth, and we will look at Sudden Storms. So again, amazing art. Love the art. Love how much it just feels like I'm sailing. And it says either shift your heading off course or deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. So I'm already off course, so I'm going to be off course again a second time. So now there's 6 in the staging area. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and I'm going to use Galadriel. I think that's the best. So let's bring this out. That's treachery. So this, I'm now off heading even more. So I'm in the rainy area, and then I quested for 2 plus 4 is 6. And so that keeps this normal. Okay, this stays the active location. Okay, and now no travel. Engagement, this comes down. Okay, engagement phase. I have to engage this because it now has an engagement cost of 20. Okay, he gets an extra whatchamacallit here, resource. And now this has boarding 1. So boarding 1 means I take a Corsair and flip it over, and then I get the Vicious Marauder. Okay, so the Vicious Marauder is a Corsair and a Raider, and this guy is crazy because he discards cards from your hand. So it says when Vicious Marauder engages you, discard a random card from your hand and place resources equal to that card's printed cost. Okay, so I have two cards that cost 0, and I have 2 cards that cost 3. So let's see what we get randomly here. And so I happened to just pick up Island Amid Perils. So 0, so no, it's a bummer because I hate losing threat reduction. I have to use Galadriel for threat reduction, but is what it is. Okay, so this guy has 0 resources, so that's a good workaround for that. Okay, so now shadow cards, and this is where it becomes good to do shadow cards in the right order here. Okay, so you start with the most engagement cost, you go down to the least engagement cost, and that is what it is. So look, I only can use a boat to defend boats. Okay, so this boat can only attack boats. So I'll use this guy to defend this boat. Defend for 6, attack for 5. No damage to the Narlenia. Okay, now this guy is attacking for 3. Okay, so I'm going to play Feigned Voices, and I'm going to cancel this attack. So I'm going to pull the Nath Guide back up into my hand. So I'll show you what Feigned Voices is. Okay, so this is a combat action. It says return a Sylvan ally you control to your hand to choose an enemy, engage with a player. That enemy cannot attack. So it's a Sylvan-y feint. Okay, so Crowley is canceled, and then this guy's attacking for 3, and Thranduil is defending for 4 now. And there is no shadow effect, so all these shadow cards go goodbye. Now there are scenarios where discarding shadow cards matters which order you do it. That's not going to be a thing that I worry about in this scenario. I don't think it matters. I use it to kind of mark which what do I want to say? Which enemies have already attacked. So I've dealt with all the attacks. So now look what I'm going to do. Okay. Now I haven't played an ally, so this is a reduction in the round. So I'm going to use Olorien, and I'm going to use Narlenia, and I'm going to bring this guy out for 1 resource. And so I'll show you what that does. So the Marksman of Lorien, when she enters play, an enemy, as long as it's not immune, gets -2 defense, which is great. But then with Celeborn's bonus, she's also attacking for 4. So in essence, the first round she comes into play, that's attacking for 6. It's like you can't really beat that. Who gets -2 is going to be the Vicious Marauder. And then I'm going to be able to just attack. So this guy is defending for 1 and has 3 hit points. Attack for 4, that kills the Vicious Marauder. Now, Corsairs go in their own discard pile. So you got to keep all that separate. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to attack for 3. This has 5 and 2 hit points, so I need to do 7. So that's 7, and now this guy dies, but he goes up in the victory display. So that's, I got a little bit there, so that's good. Okay. Okay, and I get to draw a card because of Legolas, and I get an Unexpected Courage. This one I don't have to zoom in on. You know what Unexpected Courage does. I can't do anything with this guy, and so there's nothing in the staging area. Life is good. Let me put my victory display over here. That way you guys can keep track of it. You can see a little bit better. Okay, so I have 0. Let's refresh. Okay, now we draw a card, and I get the Handmaiden, Galadriel's Handmaiden. It's a good card for questing. Okay, Galadriel's Handmaiden says after she enters play, choose a player, reduce your threat by 1. So we have to make sure we do that. That's a good card to have come in here. I forgot to raise my threat here, so we're at 30 threat. We have 7 progress. There's nothing in the staging area. So this is what I'm hoping to do, is kind of turtle to get all the achievements unlocked here from the back. I'm not going to do that every scenario, I don't think, because some of these scenarios are brutally hard. But while I can, I might as well. It just makes life a little easier. Okay, so this guy's still engaged with me. Okay, so now I need to do a sailing test here. Oh, no, I get to, let me play some cards. So I'm gonna play the Nath Guide for 1 because of Narlenia. Okay, and the Nath Guide is going to choose, let's see, 2, 5. I guess the Nath guide will choose Thranduil to commit to the quest. Okay, so I'm starting to build up my my ranged army for Rumil. That's good. So now I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna do 1. I'm gonna want to hurt this thing. So I think I'm not going to use this. So I'm going to do 1. Plus I get, oh, I need to come back on course 3 times here. So we're sailing now. Okay, so I need to sail for a bunch here. So I'm hoping, let's say 1, 2, and then I guess we'll do the Dream Chaser for 4. So we'll do the Dream Chaser for 4. Okay. So let's hope that I get back on course for the most part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, look. So I got 2 there. I got 1, so I actually got back on course 4 times. So 1, 2, 3. So that's good. So I was able to get back on course. Okay. Now, Henemarth, to see what this card is, and it's Starlit Sea. So the Starlit Sea is when you're off course, travel raises each player's threat by 3. I'm questing for 3, and I think that that's all I'm going to quest for. And that's going to make me quest success, well, neither successfully or unsuccessfully, but that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to use Galadriel to lower my threat. I think I forgot to raise my threat, so I'm going to leave my threat at 30. And then I get to draw a card. And I get another copy of Nenya. So now, engagements. The boarding is already done. I don't have to do boarding again. Okay. So deal a shadow card. And now defend. Okay. So let's see. What does it say? It says excess damage from this attack is dealt to a ship objective. No excess. Okay, this is defending for 6 and this is attacking for 5. So that's good. Okay, and the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use Olorien to bring in the Sylvan Tracker for 2 because I need healing. Okay, so I need to do 9 to this thing in order to kill it. So look, I'm going to do 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's the way that's going to work. Okay, and this is done. No victory, so we're clear now. Okay, so let's ready, and with the Sylvan Tracker in play, I get to heal people. Okay, so at the end of that turn, I killed the scouting ship with Legolas, so I get to draw a card. So I have a tree people, and then with Galadriel, I get to draw another card, and I get a Test of Will, which is great timing for that. Okay, so I think that this is the time where I want to kind of move forward through, because I want to defeat all 4 quest stages, and I don't have a ton in the staging area. When I say defeat all 4 quest stages, all 4 quest set 2 stage 2 stages. So I have to first do a sailing test. So I have this. Okay, so we move off course, and now I will commit the Dream Chaser for 2, +2. Okay, so this is what happens. If I don't have enough cards to draw, I have to shuffle this into the encounter deck and then go from there. It doesn't get put on top, although that's kind of what would make sense, but you shuffle it and then you do your sailing test. Okay, so I'm gonna sail for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I had just one, and the Thunderstruck. Perfect. Okay, so I'm back on course. I'm gonna use Hanamarth, and then good. I say good. Right, boarding 3 Corsair warship. Maybe I want to keep that out there for right now. I need to quest 4. There's going to be 6 in the staging area. Let's look at the Corsair warship. This thing has victory 6, so this is on my checklist of things to do based on the quest card, or based on the campaign card. And so it says boarding 3, and it says while Corsair warship is in the staging area, it cannot be damaged and gains archery 4. So I'm going to want to engage this thing ASAP. So 1, 2. Okay, questing for 2. Actually questing for 6. I'll add hers. So that's 6. Life is good. I don't have anything to worry about, but now I'm going to have a bunch to worry about. Okay, so no travel. I get to engage this guy because this guy in the staging area is worse than not having him in the staging area. And now I'm going to, let's say, do boarding 3. So let's do the boarding 3 right under the zoom in camera. Okay, so the first one I get is the captain. It's a Corsair. It says while you're engaged with Umbar Captain, characters you control cannot attack ship enemies. So that just means that I have to kill the Corsairs before I try to attack the ship. I get another one of these Vicious Marauders. Okay, so let's see what I get to discard because of this guy. Okay, Nenya. Okay, and then the third one here is the Southern Sailor. It says each ship enemy engaged with you contributes its threat to the total threat in the staging area. So I have a whole bunch of people engaged with me. I don't have to worry about any of that. So now I have to deal shadow cards here. 44, 40, 28, 12. Highest to lowest. Okay, well I only have one ship to defend, so this is defending for 6, and this guy's attacking for 8. No shadow, and again I know that I should keep it out, but again I don't have too much to worry about in terms of doing that. So the Narlenia is getting covered here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to tree people the Greenwood Archer back into my hand. So the only ally I got was Galleon. Okay, we'll take a look at Galleon real quick. So Galleon cannot attack or defend, which is a bummer. I was hoping for maybe Rumil, so when Rumil comes into play, I can do something, but it's fine. After Galleon enters play, he gets +1 until the end of the round, +1 willpower, but that doesn't help me because it's this, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to defend with Thranduil. I will defend the captain with Thranduil. And it says, if this attack destroys a character, shift your heading off course. It does not. Okay, he takes the damage. And now I'm going to play this. And so just for 1, because of Narlenia. The reason why I can't also use Olorian is because it has a printed minimum of 1. And so because it tells you the minimum, you can't go any lower than that printed value. But if it says reduce it by 1, you could go as low as you need to. Okay. So that readies Thranduil, but I'm going to use Thranduil again to attack, or to do this. And then I have to do 1 damage there. Let's see. It says if your heading is at the worst setting, attacking enemy makes immediate attack. Okay, so now I have to do 1 damage somewhere. Okay, and I'll put it on the Sylvan Tracker. Now this guy has 2, and let's see. Where are my good defenders here? I don't really have good defenders. Okay, so I'll defend with Colorborn. And it says reveal an encounter card. Oof. Okay, so I will reveal an encounter card. Look at that artwork. That guy's struggling to get up the the rope ladder. It's called Winds of Wrath. It says, when revealed, if you are off course, deal 1 damage to each character in play. I am not off course, and my Sylvans can't handle that. I do have a Test of Will, so I could have Test of Willed it if it came out. Okay, so now it's just a matter of who can I kill. So look, I want to get rid of this guy. Like this and this here. So let's see, that's 3, 6, and then the one that didn't come out into play is 8. That gets rid of this guy. And Legolas allows me to draw a card, and I get another Nath Guide. I have one right here, so that's good. Okay, and let's see, can I do 5? Let's see. 2. Uh, 4. And that's all I have here. 4. So let's see. I need to get through this, and I need to do stuff, so it's fine. Ready everything. I get another Woodland Courier. So I think I'm going to play this Nath Guide. I'm going to target Colorborn. So I have 5 right now. And so that's reduced by 1 because of the Narlenia. And now I'm going to play... Look, I forgot to raise my threat, but I'm going to keep it lower. I'm going to play the Handmaiden for 1 because of Olorian. So that's another 3, so I'm at 8. So now, sailing. I would love to keep these guys up to defend and attack and to do stuff against this warship. And right now, in the staging area is 6, because this is counting, but I need to worry about, let's see, I can commit Galleon to the sailing test, so that's 3. And I'm off course, at least for the time being. 3, 4. I'm going to keep these guys up. So that's, I'm committing 4 to this sailing test. Galleon, who's good for nothing right now, except for sailing test. And then the Woodland Courier. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just barely did it with the last card there. You can see the little black mark right there. Okay, good. Okay. So I'm back on course. That's, so now I need to do... I'm going to use Henemarth to look at the top card of the deck, and it is Rough Waters. Okay. So while Rough Waters is in the staging area, so it cancels the first success symbol, which... I guess is fine. So that's going to be another 2. So I have 8. So if I could do a bunch, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a bunch, but let's see. I'm at 7. Let's see. Make sure at 2, 5, 8. I'm at 8. And right now that's 8 in the staging area. Maybe I do want to do some more. Maybe not, though. Maybe oh, look, I readied these guys. So because I readied, I get to heal. Let's see. I wish these were Sylvan. They're not. They're Gondor. Bummer. I think this is the round that I want to... It's the last round that I'm stuck here. Okay. So, there we go. So, I don't quest... I quest... even. Okay. I'm going to use Galadriel to lower my threat by 1. I didn't raise it again, so I'm going to keep it at 31. And I get Orphan. No travel, no engagements, so deal shadows here. So 44, 28, 12. Okay, so first things first is I have to deal with this guy. So I'll defend this guy with the Narlenia. No shadow. So Narlenia takes 2 damage. Okay. Now, neither of these are horrible to deal with. Let's see. I will defend this guy with 4. It says attacking it gets +1. So no damage goes to Thranduil, but because of this, he attacks. I'll put the damage here. You know what? I'll put the damage on Thranduil. Okay, and now this guy is going to defend here for 2. No shadow. Okay, and I take a damage onto the Sylvan Tracker. Okay, I'm going to play the Woodland Courier here for 2. Okay, and now I get to put progress on a location in play, which I'll pick this one. And now, so let's say, I'll attack for 2 with the Courier, and that's going to kill this guy. Okay, that goes there. Okay. How much do I need? I need 13 for this, so that's 4, 7, 10, 11. Sorry, 13. 10, 12, 13. This dies, so this goes up here. Okay, good. Okay, Corsair Warship in the victory display. And now I have to try to kill this guy. Which I think, let's see, I have 2, 4, 5, 7. Kills this guy. Okay. So now we're clear. Oh, I did kill somebody, so I'll draw a card. And I get a host of the Galathrim. This is the time that I want to play that. Maybe not exactly this moment, but I want to be able to play it maybe at exactly this moment. So if I do play it, I'll show everybody what it does. Okay, I am going to raise my threat. Draw a card. Oh, I get Ancestral Armor. That is phenomenal. Okay, so I'll show you what that is if it comes into play. Okay, So I'm going to wait for the Galathrum, the host of the Galathrum, until I get through this particular scenario. But I am going to play Orphan, so I'll show you what Orphan does. Okay, another amazing art by Magali Villanueva. Orphan is ranged, and when he enters play, you get to take a Sylvan Ally from your discard pile and bring it back into your hand. I don't have anything in my discard pile, but I'm going to play him for 1, so you can't go wrong with that. So Orphan can be used with both Narlenia, because that reduces it by 1, and then this reduces it again down to another 1, so that's down to 1. So right now in the staging area is 5, and I want to do 4 plus 1 is another 5. I want to do at least 10, but let's do a sailing test. I'm going to do 3. I'm going to commit 3 to a sailing test. Let's hope that I get a sailing. Let's hope that I pass. Okay, and I do not pass. Okay, that is a bummer. So I stay. Oh, look, I rotated that the wrong way. So I'm at the cloudy area here. Okay. Oh, plus this would have canceled the first symbol. I forgot about that, but, well, I failed. Okay. So let's try to do 5, 11. So let's see here. I just brought out Orphan for 3. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna exhaust Hanemarth because I want to look at the top card. Oh, it's another Calm Waters. Okay, so that's, I need 2 more. Let's see. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do this. Let's do 8. Let's do 11 like that. Okay, so the Calm Waters come out. And that's this. We already know what that does. Gives me an extra thing. So that's 6 in the staging area. And so I get through this for 4, and I get through this for 1. So this goes into the victory display. So now I don't have a choice because I'm off course. So we're going to go to this 2A, the very top one. Okay, so this is Calfon's Divination. It says search the encounter deck and discard for 1 copy of a scouting ship and add it to the staging area. Okay, I shuffled the encounter deck. I got the scouting ship. We know what that does. And so let's take a look at side 2B of this one. And it says sailing. It says while you are off course, each shipping enemy gains boarding 1. This is going to have boarding 2 now. Okay, now I have to, I'm off course, so I don't want to go here. I want to go here. Okay, and that way I don't cancel my stuff. Okay, now I'm going to take this guy. Now that's boarding 2, so it's additive. So the 1 here and then the 1 here. I have to take it because its engagement cost is 20. So I'll do 1, and this is the sailor that adds the threat back into the staging area, and this is the captain, the pirate. So it says when Cunning Pirate engages you, discard an attachment you control and place resources on Cunning Pirate equal to that attachment's printed cost. So I'm going to have to discard an attachment. I don't have a second copy of any of these attachments, so and I don't want to get rid of any of the attachments on my ship. So I guess we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll get rid of Nenya because I know I have a bunch of those. I have a second Olurien. I don't know. So it engaged me. I'm actually going to get rid of... I'm going to get rid of Nenya. And then I'm going to use her ability to lower my threat and draw a card. And I get another copy of Legolas. Ugh. That's a bummer. Okay. All of these guys are done. This guy is done. Okay. So now I'm going to 36, 35, 28. Okay, so now I need to do some... This gets 1 resource. Okay, so I will defend this guy with the Sylvan Tracker. And it says if this attack deals enemy to a ship objective, shift your heading off. Of course, it does not. So it's kind of like they're coming back and trying to hit my ship. Okay, I'm going to defend the scouting ship with Narlenia. And it's the same shadow card. So there's no damage, even up 5, up to 6 actually, so that's good. And then I'll use Thranduil, who's attacking or defending for 4 against this guy, who, wow, 3 copies of Rolling Seas. Whew. Now the problem with that is that's 3 success symbols for my sailing test. So, but it is what it is. So now I have to attack back. Let's see here. So I guess I will. Let's see. This guy is, I need 7 to kill this guy. I think Orphan is new, so this is 3, 6, 7, and that kills this guy. And with Legolas, I get to draw a card. And I get another copy of Test of Will, which is good to see. Okay, and now I have to, let's see, can I kill... Okay, I'm going to try to get up to 9 here. So this is 4, 7, 9. That kills this. And then I can do 2 more. And that's going to put a damage on this guy. Okay, I get to draw a card. Oh, I get to raise my threat. I get another Sylvan Tracker, which is good. And then I'm going to lower my threat, exhaust Galadriel, draw another card, and I get a Marksman of Lorien. Okay, so that's good news as well. Okay. So I'm going to play the Host of the Glathrim. Okay. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so this, let's see. I'm going to, I don't get anything here. I get to put 2 progress into play. So I'm going to put a progress here, which gets rid of this. And then I'm going to put a progress on this guy. So that's done. Okay, this readies. This, don't worry about it. Okay, I don't have anything, don't have anything, don't have anything. I'm going to target Celeborn and Thranduil. I get to lower my threat by another 1 here, and then Galleon. So I think that's everybody. I don't have any ships, but let's see. Maybe what do I want to do? I just want to get through this. Okay, I'm off course. I need to get back more. I need 2 success symbols. Okay. So just in case I get a ship. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here's my crew. Okay, so I'm doing 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. So I have to shuffle this back into this. Okay, so 5. Now, I'm sure there's some strategy, you know, with being able to, like, make sure that there's not enough shadow cards, you know, like, I'm not going to go into it that deeply, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, though. Okay, so I need 2 successes. And I have exactly 2. I had 1 calm waters, so that's what I want to do. So that puts me back on course. Okay, I really like this. Okay, so I'm back on course. Okay, and now without even trying, oh, I'm going to exhaust him. And okay, so I get the Starlit Sea, which is a location, so that's going to be 3. So there's going to be 4 in the staging area. So, but without even exhausting anybody, I'm doing 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 15, 17, 20, 21. So I'm questing for 21 over that. So look, this is good. I will, so that's 4, 2, and then I get through this. Now these quest cards are interesting because they all have victory. Normal quest stages do not have victory points, but these do. So I'm going to put that there, and then I get to choose which one I want. Okay, so I have the Star's Guidance and Into the Storm. So it says when revealed on the Star's Guidance, look for Starlit Sea and add it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck, and then Into the Storm says search the encounter deck for Water Spout and add it to the staging area. Okay, so it says for the Star's Guidance, it says while you are off course, each ocean gets +1 threat, and it says Into the Storm. At the end of the quest phase, if you're ever off course, deal 5 damage among characters I control. So I think I'm going to go Into the Storm because I have a lot. I don't have a ton into the staging area. Okay, and then this gets put on the bottom of the quest deck. So the Water Spout says while your heading is at the worst setting, which is the storm, it says players must travel to the Water Spout. But then it says after traveling to Water Spout, deal 4 damage to each ship objective. Right now that's okay, but I'm going to be turtling a lot to try to get this all figured out. Okay, so I'm going to travel to the Starlit Sea right now, and I don't engage anybody. I just have to deal this guy a shadow card. I will defend this with Thranduil. It says if the attack destroys a character, shift your heading. It's not going to. And then I can kill this guy for a lot. That's 4, 8, whatever. Normally I could bring out stuff, but I'm not during combat. I'm going to try to save up some resources. I want to get some defense. I want to get unexpected courage out. So this guy is dead because I killed him. I get to draw a card with this, and I get Steward of Gondor. You don't need to see what that is. Draw a card. I get an island amid perils, which is great to bring stuff back. Reduce my threat. I'm going to do this. I'm going to reduce my threat. Draw a card. And I get my other copy of Nenya, which is kind of what I wanted. Oh, and I forgot to give myself resources. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to play the Steward of Gondor. Shockingly, Celeborn is the steward. And I'm just going to leave this exhausted. Okay. Okay. So now I'm getting a whole bunch of resources. I'm able to, I don't know, I got a lot of stuff going on. It's helpful. So now I just want to do my list of, I want to gather my XP as much as I can. Okay. So I'm going to play Unexpected Courage onto Thranduil. Actually, I'm going to play Unexpected Courage onto Galadriel. So, and then this, and then this. And then I'm going to play Nenya onto Galadriel for 1. Okay. Now if I need to, I can commit her to the quest, and every turn I can use her to draw a card and lower my threat. So okay, so I'm going to be course, and so I'm going to, let's do 3, 5. I have my whole ship of sailing elves, which is thematic. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. 5 cards. None of them put me on course. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Okay. So now we get to use Hadamar to look at the top card. And it's Fogbank. Okay. We haven't seen Fogbank, so let's take a look. So it says, while Fogbank is the active location, ship enemies do not make engagement checks, cannot attack, and cannot be attacked. So basically nullifies any ship attacking, which I don't have any ships, so but that's okay. So I really just have to do 7 progress to get through the staging area, the active location, then 2 more to go there. And I don't have any ships that I am going to engage. So look, I'm going to commit for 6, 8, I guess. 8. Might as well. Okay. So this Fogbank comes out. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, I need to do more. Let's see. 6, 8. That's 5, 7. Well, I can't use Galadriel again. I already started, so okay. So that's going to be 7, 11. Okay, so this gets through here, and this, and I am off course. So that means I go to here. Okay, so I have to go get another copy of Fogbank and put it into the encounter deck, or put it into play. It says, while you are off course, each non-ship ally gets -2 willpower. So I need to get back on course. That's what that's saying. Okay. And I need to get back on course in order for me to get to the next stage. So here, let me show you this. So because of this, it says when we're on course, this is this is my quest deck. I want to get all 2s here, but notice my 2 is behind my 3. So the only way I can get to this 2 is by being on course to be able to select this one as my active quest. So I have Fogbank. I got through here. I have to travel. Okay. So I think I'm going to travel to the Fogbank just to get the threat out of the staging area. It is time to do this. So I'm going to, it's combat. Even though there's nobody to combat, during the combat phase I can do this. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to do this. And I don't think I didn't play an ally here. So I'm going to put another one of these Sylvan Trackers into play. Okay. So, okay. So now we can ready and get everything going here. So I'm going to draw. I get a copy of the Tree People. And then I'm going to draw and reduce my threat. So I didn't raise it, so I'm going to do this. And so I get a copy of Faint Voices. Okay. I'm going to play Ancestral Armor onto Thranduil. Okay, so now Thranduil is a powerhouse beast. He could probably defend all sorts of things. Okay, and then I'm going to play Island Amid Perils and bring Galleon back into my hand. Not Island Amid Perils. That's not. This is Tree People. And I'm going to bring Haldir of Lorien into play. Okay, I'd show you Haldir of Lorien, but he's a 2/2/2 with ranged and sentinel, so he's got no special abilities really. Okay, now this is a bummer, but I'm going to bring Galleon into play, and so that triggers this. So this is 0, and then -1 is still 0. There's no negatives in this game. So it's the way that works. I want to get through here. I want to get through this. I want to make sure. So I'm gonna do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna sail for 6 to make sure that I'm back on heading. I want to get 2 of these. I don't. Well, maybe I get a ship enemy, but I don't have to worry about engaging it. Look, 6. I don't want to be off course. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 success symbols. Okay, that's great. Okay, and so that puts me back here. Okay, and now I'm going to use Henemarth to look at the top card here. Oh, and it's the Thunderstruck. I love that. Yeah, so let's look at the Thunderstruck. Jeremy, who I think was the lead on this campaign, I think he has an AC/DC thing, but there's a lot of song references, believe it or not, in the game. So go ahead, find them. But it says Archery 1, Boarding 2, immune to player card effects. And then it says Thunderstruck gets +2 hit points per player and cannot take more than 4 damage each round. So I can handle this now, but I couldn't before. This is good because this is another one of those achievement unlocked for the quest card, or for the campaign card. So I'm hoping that I can take care of it. But let's see. So I'm back on course. I can go through this. Okay, so there's 5. There'll be 8 in the staging area. 8, 13, 19. I don't know if I can do 19, but we'll see here. Okay. So look, 2, 5. And then she's going to commit, or not commit, but use her. Nenya's going to use her ability. So that's 9. Okay. Then I have to keep some things for attacking. Oh. Yeah. So let's see. So that's 9, 10, 11, 13, so 13. Let me double check. So that's 2, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. Okay. So I'll do 13 against 8. So the Thunderstruck comes out. Okay. So I get through the Fog Bank. And now I think I'm going to travel to Calm Waters. Okay. And now I engage this guy. This has archery 1, so I deal archery 1 at the beginning anyways, so do this, put archery here. And then boarding 3, so we get, is it 3? Boarding 2, okay. So 1, this is the pirate. It says discard an attachment you control and place resources. So I control, look, I'm going to get rid of Olorien for 1 and put a resource here. I don't need 2 different types of resource acceleration. 3 if you count the Narlenia. Okay, and then look, there's an okay. I see what you did there. I need another attachment. Okay, well, I guess I will get rid of the unexpected courage. Okay, so that's now 2 here. Okay. So now shadow, so we start with the highest 1, and then these 2. The same. Okay. So I'll defend with the Narlenia. Narlenia is defending for 6. And it says attacking it gets +1, +2 if you're off course. So Narlenia takes a damage. It's a shame. Okay. And now I have to defend for 3 here. Who's going to defend? I'm gonna play Feigned Voice. I'm gonna wait. Because I know it sounds silly, but I can use Feigned Voices to do the ships. Not all the time, but when they're not immune to player card effects. So look, I'm going to take this guy and defend here for 6. If this damages a character, doesn't. So that's good. And let's see, somehow, okay, I will use Haldir of Lorien to defend this guy. He just came into play, so he's defending for 3 against 3. It says if you're off course, attacking is +2. Not off course. Okay, great. So this is why you need to stay on course. So now let's see. I only can do 4 damage to this. So how can I do 4? Let's see. Let me kill some stuff first. So there's 6. That's this dead. 7 has to have a 7. I need 1 more. Let me redo this. I need 7. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to do this 6, 7. Okay, kill this one. Or maybe, actually, let's do it this way. Let's do 8 and kill this guy. Okay. I did kill something, so I get to draw a card, and I get another copy of the Handmaiden. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Island Amid Perils. Okay. So I get to bring back an ally. I'm going to bring back this Greenwood Archer. Okay. Then I'm going to spend 2 to bring out this Greenwood Archer and ready Thranduil. Okay, and now let's see, can I get up, let's say 2, 4, 7, 9, that's 4 damage to this. Okay. And then, look, I'm going to attack this guy for 1. He doesn't do any damage, but it exhausts this guy. Okay, I'm going to draw a card. So I get the Lorien Guide. So now I need to stay on course, get through this, bring up the last 2B, and call it a day, I hope. Okay. So look, I get extra cards. So look, I'm going to keep these ship enemies. So I'm going to... Three. Okay, I'm going to do 5. I'm going to do 3 here plus the 2 that Calm Waters gives us. Okay, and we will, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get to shuffle all this in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I just need to stay on course. I need 1. Okay. And all I got was 1. Holy cow. Okay. So lots of ships in there. Okay. So I stay on course. I know I didn't rotate this, but it's okay. So now questing. Let's see. I will use Henemarth to look at the top card here. Okay, so it's another Calm Water, so that's 5 in the staging area. So that's 9. 15. I need to figure out if I can do 15. I'm going to leave these 2 up and running. Let's do 2, 4. Six, 7, 8. I'm going to do 8, I guess. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to lower my threat by 2 last time, which would have brought me down to 28. Then I need to raise my threat by 1 for the end of the turn. I lowered my threat by 2 because of Island Amid Perils. I got all excited about doing stuff. So, okay. So look, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. Let's see. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. And then I'll use her for 12. So I'm at 12. So this comes out. That's 5, 4. It's 9. Then Radagast puts 3 here. Okay, I'm not off course, so now I get to travel. I'm not going to travel to Waterspout. I could travel. I think I'm going to travel to the. I think I'm going to travel to Calm Waters again. Works out the best. No engagements, so archery. Archery, I'll take archery and put it on Thranduil. Thranduil has 6 hit points now, so he's pretty good. Okay, now shadow cards. So this, and then this. Okay, so the Narlenia is going to defend Thunderstruck. And it says if you were off course, which I'm not, so no damage. And then Thranduil is going to defend this for 6. And it says attacking it gets +1, +2 if you control an exhausted ship object. So that's 5. He's defending for 6. So that's fine. So now this guy is defending for 3, has 4 hit points, so I need to do 7. So I'll do 3 before this happens. I'm going to play this guy. He's the first thing I played, so he reduces by 2. So I'm going to do this. He reduces by 1, so down to 2. And then I'm going to subtract 2. So now I only need to do 5 to this guy. So I'm going to do 4. 6, and that kills this thing. Goes here. Okay. I didn't use this guy, but here's where we do. So now I'm going to do 3, 6, 10 here. And that does enough to kill the Thunderstruck. Put that up in the staging area. And because I was able to destroy an enemy with Legolas, I'm able to draw a card. I get Rumil. Okay. Rumil is great. I need the Elven King. That's my card that I need. Okay. So now it's time to get through this. Draw a card. Oh, I get the Minstrel. Okay. Okay. I will put the Lorien Guide. Core set gold right here. Lorien Guide goes into play. Okay, he's going to be a quester. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me make sure that I stay on course. So that's going to be 3. Then I'm going to leave the Dream Chaser up 3. Look, 4. I'll do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before I look at this, let me shift myself off course. That's how you're supposed to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 success symbols. Okay, so I'm back on course, and now I'm going to quest. So I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I have 4 in the staging area, 4 here, that's 8. I need to do 11. She doesn't commit to the quest, but look at that. I get 2, so that puts 1 here. That's great. Okay, so now I only have to do 10. So that's 2. I forgot to raise my threat. I always forget to raise my threat. Threat's never an issue here with this deck. 2, 4, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Let me look at the top card of the deck just to see what's going on. It says if you are off course, deal 1 damage to each character in play. If you are at the worst heading, this effect cannot be canceled. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this. So look, I have a stack of committed characters here. Make sure that I have this. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10. Put the progress there. I don't have to worry. Let's see. Make sure that this is right. 4, 7, 10. Perfect. Okay. So this whiffs. I could have canceled that anyways. I don't think I paid for my Lorien Guide, so I'll pay for that. Okay. So here's my sailing test. Here's my thing. So this goes successful. I'm able to clear the quest. Now we'll go to the last 2B. Whew. It's long because I'm going through every single quest card. Because again, I want an achievement unlocked for this. Okay, so because I was on course, I get to pick from the 2 quest cards that remain, and I'm going to pick the 2A. And it says search the encounter discard pile for Starlet Sea. The scenario is so long I forget if I actually showed you Starlet Sea. But let's see. If I'm off course, it gains travel, raise each player's threat by 3. So let's not do that. And this says, while you are off course, each location gets +1 threat. So now I have to travel. I'm going to travel to the Starlet Sea. I'm going to leave these 2 in the staging area. You know what? Yeah, I'll just get the 3 threat out of the staging area. Okay, now it is combat. I'm going to bring out a minstrel for 2 to look for an event. So the event that I'll get is a Feign Voices. Okay, so that was my combat action. Ready. Because I have so many things out, I'm just kind of keeping them in piles and stacks. Now we draw a card. Another Weaver. Sorry, not another Weaver, another Minstrel. I'm pretty sure I forgot to use Galadriel last time around, but it is what it is. How much do we need to do? Let's see. We need to just stay on course. So 4, 5. Minstrels are good sailors. I have some attackers. I have some questers. And I got some doing all sorts of good, crazy things. Okay, so 5 sailing. I'm going to keep this out just in case something happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I was able to success 2 success symbols, so I was able to stay on course, and now we have to quest. So look, I'm going to quest here, so that does 1 progress there. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. How much is here? Oh, look, I'm going to use Henamarth to look here. It says, either remove all progress from the current quest and raise each player's, or shift your heading off course. I'm just going to cancel that. But I forgot to raise my thread at the beginning of the round. Okay, so let's see. So I'll just cancel that there. So I just need to get through 4, 5, 9. I need to get through 9. So again, it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I will play this when revealed, cancel the when revealed with a test of will. And so that's 4, 5. Starlet Sea is gone. And then this is done. This goes in this there. Okay, so it says search the encounter deck and discard pile for the ship enemy with the highest threat and add it to the staging area. So that's this guy, and notice this guy has victory 6. So this is the thing that I need to finish up my achievement unlocked for my campaign. Okay, and it says shuffle the encounter deck. You cannot place progress on Corsair Pursuit unless you are on course. And then it says if there are no ship enemies remain in play, you have defeated your pursuers and win the game. Okay, which is the one that I want to do. And it says, or if there's 10 or more progress, I have outrun my pursuers. So I want to do this one because that's the one that's the achievement unlocked. Fog Bank, Water Spout. I'm not going to travel to either one of those. I'm going to engage this guy. Okay. And now I have to do, let's see, boarding 3. So this is the captain. 2, this is the, when Cunning Pirate engages you, discard an attachment and place resources on Cunning Pirate equal to the attachment's cost. So I need an attachment somewhere. Let's see, I need a 1 cost attachment. So I think in this case, it's going to be Nenya. Okay. So this guy's one. Now I need one more. And this is this guy. It says, so get rid of a card in your hand. And put resources on it equal to the cost of the card in my hand. So there's a test of will. Okay. Good. So now we do exactly the right number of shadow cards. Boy, I'm really good at figuring this out. Okay. That's okay. I think we'll be okay. Now, how many ranged? Okay. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Feigned Voices, and we're gonna bring Galleon up into my hand. And we're gonna cancel this attack. So again, I am gonna remove the shadow card so that I don't have to, so I know which ones have been dealt with. Okay, this guy's attacking for 3, this guy's attacking for 3. I'm gonna now play Feigned Voices again, and I'm going to bring the Woodland Courier up into my hand. All of these guys are exhausted, and now I'm going to cancel this. Feigned Voices, cancel an attack here. I'm going to play Rumel for 3, because he's the first one that I get to bring in. If I'm off, I have plenty of resources. But now I'm able to do 8 damage, because when Rumel comes into play, let me show you. When Rumel comes into play, he's got a response that says, after you play Rumel from your hand, choose an enemy engaged with a player, deal X damage to that enemy, where X is the number of ranged characters you control. And I control 8 ranged characters, including Rumel. So Rumel is going to come in and do 8 damage here to this Corsair warship. Okay, so now I have to do 3 defend versus 3, which I will defend here with Thranduil. It says if this attack ship enemy damage, nope, does not do that. And now I have to defend here and do a damage somewhere else. Okay, so I will do this. He's attacking, he gets 3. I'll do a damage to this guy. So 3 and no shadow. Okay, so Celeborn takes a damage. And now let's see. I'm gonna do 3, 6. That kills this guy. That goes there. And that was enough to do this. Okay. I'm gonna do 8 to this guy. 6, 8. That kills this guy. Okay, I'll exhaust, lower my threat by 1, and draw a card. Test of Will, which is nice. Okay, and then I'm going to do 3, 7, and that kills that. So now I have completed this because I don't have any ship enemies. And so now let's take a look at the campaign resolution and see how many XP I get and what XP does. It says add Ominous Fate to the campaign pool. There's Ominous Fate. I didn't see it except as a shadow card once, and that's a heck of a shadow effect. I'm gonna put resources on this for every XP I get. It says 1 XP for each surviving player. I get 1. And it says 1 XP if stage 2B quest cards are in the victory display. So I get 1 XP for that. That was a lot for 1 XP. Okay. And then it says if I ended the game on course. So I did that. And then it said here, you know what? I can put these right over here. 1, 2, 3. See, these are they're nice nice resource tokens. Okay, and it says 1 XP if no ship enemies are in play. That's how I beat this scenario. Okay, and then it says 1 XP for each Corsair warship in the victory display. So I have 2 of those in the victory display. It says 1 XP if Crowley is in the victory display. Okay, I got that. It says 2 XP if Thunderstruck is in the victory display. Okay, so that's 9 XP. I got all the XP that I possibly could. Okay, so what I can do is I can spend XP to either upgrade or scale up some of my cards. And I can do it either at the beginning or at the end of the quest. What I'm going to do right now, because I only can scale up those things that I control here, and I'll show you one that I can scale up, or that I can upgrade. So here's the Dream Chaser, but then you flip it over, and it says campaign mode only. It gets one extra of each of its stats plus an extra hit point. And it says immune to player card effects, and the Dream Chaser can only be committed to the sailing anytime, and it says counts as 3 characters. So I'm going to upgrade that, and you notice that there's a little number down here. It's hard to see, but it says 4. So I have 9, so I'm going to spend 4 to upgrade that. Another thing that I can upgrade, and you can see it says upgraded, okay, are the modifications. And it says when a this is the extra sales upgrade. It says when extra sales leaves player removed from the game. It says attached ship gets 1 extra willpower. And it says when a non-unique ship enemy engages you, spend 1 resource and exhaust extra sales to reduce that enemy's boarding value by 1. So I think that I'm going to spend 2 to upgrade extra sales. And then I'm going to, the armor plating still gets defense, but I'm able to cancel a shadow card, and shadow cancellation is phenomenal. So I'm going to spend 2 to upgrade the armor plating. And now I have 1 XP left, and I get to carry that over for the rest of the scenarios. So I have lots of upgraded stuff. We'll see you next time as we learn what the fate of Numenor is.